There has been a surplus of superstars that have been mildly disappointing to overly disappointing. Now, this could be due to multiple reasons, and that one being because of their actual booking. They might just not be getting a lot of TV time. But another reason might be because of their promo skills, or maybe because of their in-ring work, or it's simply they cannot get over with the crowd. Now, I am going to take you through my top 10 most disappointing superstars of 2025 so far. Let's get into it. Starting off in my number 10 position, I have Santos Escobar. Now, I have Santos Escobar here because, one, we barely see him, so I couldn't really rank him any higher than this, but two, when we do see him, I feel really bad for him because it's like he is not over at all with the crowd. He is a very good in-ring worker. He is solid on promos. He's not great, but he's solid. But his problem is just getting over with the crowd. No one seems to care about what he has to say or what he is doing. Whenever he is out in the crowd, out in the ring, you will hear him do a little whistle, like a or whatever the hell it is, and no one really does it back. It's his way of trying to interact with the crowd, and nobody even whistles back to him. Nobody interacts with him, and his matches, I'm sorry, but it's only when he's facing somebody notable that the crowd actually cares about what's going on. And it's pretty sad because Los Garza is doing way better than he is right now. They have just been a better tag team than he has been individual, and he's supposed to be the leader of Legado del Fantasma, but it's like we barely see him, one, and two, when we do see him, he's more in a managerial role than actually a wrestler. But I think he's better as a wrestler than he is as a manager, but it is what it is. I don't have much to him. Sometimes you forget he's even on the roster, and it's sad to see because he had some promise when it was him versus Ray and that feud was going into last year's WrestleMania. That showed some promise, but now it's like he is the odd man out in this entire Smackdown rotation, it feels like, and it's not going to get any better. I mean, he gets a okay amount of screen time right now, nothing great, but with the time he gets, it's almost like he doesn't do really much with it, and some of it is due to his booking, but as I said, a lot of it is due to the fact that he cannot get over with the crowd. In my number 9 position, I have Karrion Kross. Now, Karrion Kross, I have no idea what the hell they are doing with him right now because he has not wrestled in God knows how long. I mean, seriously, I don't remember the last time he's actually wrestled. I think it was back in December when he and his old group with AOP actually fought the Wyatt Six and ended up winning the feud between them and the Wyatt Six. That just surprised the hell out of me, and that kind of buried the Wyatt Six, but it really did do good for him. But at the same time, they haven't done anything this year with him outside of him stalking a few people in the background, and that's just weird. I mean, yes, it's an interesting character dynamic to him, but he hasn't done anything with it. He has not wrestled anybody. They're not doing anything with him, it feels like. And I put him a little bit higher than Santos because at least his character is a little bit interesting. His character is a little bit interesting, so it's like I really want more for him, There's more I want for him, so it's making me more disappointed in him. It's because I think his booking is just not the best right now. I mean, there is nothing for him to do, and it feels like they're not even trying to do really anything with him. You'll see him, and he's like talking to people like Sami Zayn, and now Sami Zayn is out for an undisclosed amount of time, so we have no idea when he'll be back. So it's like the people he's feuding with doesn't go anywhere because now it's like Sami Zayn's gone for a while. And I wouldn't even say feuding because he really wasn't feuding. He was just being the devil on Sammy's shoulder. But again, that hasn't done anything. There's nothing going on with it, and I actually kind of like this character dynamic for Karrion Kross because he is good at it. He is very good at it. But again, all he is doing is stalking people in the background, and you will see him just in the back talking to maybe some random person. Like this past Monday Night Raw, I think we saw him talking to Dom. You know, it's like, what? Why? Like, what is going on? Like, actually make this make sense. Now, maybe Karrion Kross is the new, whatchamacallit, member of the Judgment Day that Dom's been so after, but I don't even think that's going to be the case. I mean, it could be. It could be. Karrion Kross could be the new muscle that they've been looking for, but at the same time, I have no idea. And that's the other thing, is that whenever he was utilized, it's like they're not utilizing him for what he should be utilized for. You know, he's a strong, big dude, and we're not utilizing him like that. It's like, why? So, yeah, Karrion Kross at number 9. In my number 8 position, I have Shinsuke Nakamura. Actually, the only champion on this list. And I have him on here because I have no absolute idea what the hell they are doing with him. Because, again, he is basically the Karrion Kross of Friday Night Smackdown. But he's not talking to people trying to be the devil on their side, their shoulder. He is not trying to be the devil on their shoulder. He is just stalking people, and it's fucking weird. Why? I mean, I get it. He's a complex character. I get that, but like, what? This title reign has been so forgettable. It's like, this has been... It's been worse than Lyra's now. Lyra basically defended her title the past 2 Monday Night Raws. That kicked her title reign up above his. He has not done anything with his title. Now, this past SmackDown, I know he was mourning his brother. His brother just died, so that is understandable. I get that. But he has had 2-3 months now of being United States champion, and he has done absolutely nothing with this reign that's made it memorable. The only thing that was memorable about it was taking it off of LA Knight, making us all think that his title reign or his new character was going to be so much better than what it had been, where we basically had not been seeing him. Now, it's like we're wishing he never came back, because it's like they're doing nothing with him. He has not been interesting in the slightest. The only thing interesting about him is probably his entrance. And that's pretty sad, actually. That's pretty sad. He doesn't get over with the crowd at all, because I hate to say it, but the crowd doesn't really understand him. And 2, it's like his in-ring work, I don't know, it feels like to me it's kind of declined, if you know what I mean. I don't know, he doesn't feel like the same Shinsuke in the ring anymore, so his matches don't feel as, emphatic as they used to. And I'm praying to God that LA Knight actually takes the belt off of him whenever that title match is going to be. If it's tonight, I don't remember if it is or not, but please just take the belt off of him. He needs something different. He needs to join a faction is what he needs to do. And so then he can actually become interesting again. But there's no factions on SmackDown outside of the Wyatt Six. And Wyatt Six are not going to make this list because they have been out with injury to start this year. Bo Dallas, aka Wyatt Uncle Howdy, has been out, so that's the reason he is not on this list. I was going to put him on this list, but then I found out that he was actually injured, and Bo Dallas was finally cleared to return to the ring, so I'm praying to God that he is back. And yes, disclaimer, all people with injuries are not going to make this list. It's the people who have actually had screen time and have been pretty terrible in their screen time so far. In my number 7 position, I have Solo Sikoa. Now, Solo Sikoa, at the beginning of the year, started off very damn strong, and having a Ulafala, I want to say title defense, I guess, against Roman Reigns, but he lost. Now, that kind of buried him for the rest of the year. The idea of having a match against Roman Reigns to start the year was the best part of his year so far. Now, it's gone completely down the drain. I mean, he is rumored to have a match with Jacob Fatu heading into WrestleMania, or at WrestleMania, so that should be good. But yeah, he has been disappointing ever since he lost that Ulafala, because he took about a month hiatus. He didn't even return at the Royal Rumble like he should have. I mean, there were a few people in that Rumble that should have been in it, because you could have easily had somebody like Solo return at the Rumble. you know, possibly dumping out Jacob Fatu or something like that, you know, to spark a little bit of a feud. But I get it. It's like I don't know, they feel scared to pull the trigger on some of this shit because they want to just be safe rather than sorry in the long run. But I don't know, Solo needed something different. He needs something different right now, as I should say. Now he's looking like a little bitch to Jacob Fatu, which is kind of sad because he used to be the guy that basically had Jacob Fatu in his back pocket that he could just send him whenever he wants. And now it's like Jacob Fatu doesn't even mess with Solo anymore because he knows Solo sucks. It's like, I don't know. Solo had an interesting character, being the new tribal chief and all, but then after he lost, no one respects him, not even Jacob Fatu or Tama Tonga. Neither one of them respect him, and it's just bad for Solo because it's like, I feel like Solo is gonna wind up ending back up with Roman, and that really won't be the best for him. I thought him breaking free from Roman was a good idea, but the problem came in where he wasn't the best on the mic right away, so then nobody could take him seriously because he was never talking in the first place. So then you go from someone who was just standing there in complete silence to now cutting this like 3-minute promo in a ring. It makes no sense. And that was the problem with Solo, is that they rushed his, you know, betrayal, I guess you want to say, too quickly. They rushed that, and it has definitely not been the best for him. And then ever since losing the Ula Follow to Roman, now I'm not saying that Solo should have won that match. I am glad Roman did win that match, but again, same thing with Roman, we barely see him. And that's the other thing, I'm not going to put Roman on this list either because this is kind of who Roman is. He shows up whenever he wants, so it's like whenever Roman is here, he puts on a fucking amazing match, amazing segments. So that's kind of why he's not on this list. But whenever Solo is here pulling a Roman, his segments are less as memorable as Roman's. In my number 6 position, I have The New Day. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, Dan, these are 2 people. This is a tag team, not one person. Yeah, I know. The problem is that they basically are the same person right now. So that's kind of why I give them the spot together. They have been so misused, it's not even funny. They should have won the tag titles almost immediately after they turned heel, and then do tag team heel shit, and that would have put them over so much. They are trying to get them over by the crowd, and they are doing an absolutely terrible job at it right now. They should have used the mega heat that they got from the Big E betrayal at the beginning of December, and they didn't use it at all. They completely botched that, in my opinion. New Day had so much heat, almost Dom level heat, if not worse than Dom level heat, and they did nothing with it. It's like, I don't even know if they still get this type of heat right now. They might, but they should have capitalized on it right away, and they didn't. They waited so long, and they don't even have the tag titles right now. They have not even gotten a tag title opportunity yet. How? And now we're doing some pointless singles feuds, you know, where each one is at each other's ring side. But why? Make them a tag team again. They're supposed to be, quote unquote, the best tag team of all time. Well, let's see it. Let's see them be the best tag team of all time, you know? I personally don't believe that's true at all, but still, it's like, if we're gonna have this moniker for them being the greatest tag team of all time, let's see it. Let's see them actually do it, you know? Let's see them do it as heels, you know? So then you make people believe it less and less, you know? Capitalize on this shit. It's like, what are we doing? This could have been so good. This tag team heel could have been so damn good. Could be what the Judgment Day wasn't. And that's the other thing, is Judgment Day would have been probably more like appreciated / hated because if they had Dom be one of the tag title holders, but they weren't. It was Finn and JD. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about Finn and Priest because that was an actually fun tag team. Finn and JD, they were fun, but they were basically beaten up on every time they were in the ring, so yeah, that wasn't that fun. New Day, on the other hand, I really do believe that this could have just elevated them so much more, but it really didn't. It really did nothing for them. And yeah, I don't really know why they had them turn on Big E if they really had no plans for them in the first place. At my number 5 position, I might get a lot of hate for this one, but I have Charlotte Flair. Now, hear me out. Charlotte Flair has been super disappointing ever since she returned. Her promo work is god-awful. She has been terrible on the microphone, and she only has wrestled at the Royal Rumble. She has been back for a whole month, and it's like we barely see her. And when we do see her, her segments have been less than disappointing. I mean, I don't even know what you want to call what her segments have been. Her segments have just been terrible. I guess you can call it that. They have been terrible. I don't know what it is. I was hoping Charlotte was going to come back and save the women's division. Yeah, that's been less than the truth. I can't even believe it. Becky Lynch is going to be the savior, and we need her back now because I don't know what Charlotte Flair, what happened to her while she was gone, whatever the hell happened. She just cannot cut a promo anymore. Her promos are cringy. I mean, they're terrible. I don't even know. Like, yeah, Charlotte Flair has just been not fun to listen to at all. And I don't really know why. It's like, I don't know what she's doing. I really don't. Her promos are just not good anymore. And I hate to say it, but it's true. She has not cut a very good promo ever since she's returned. And then I think it might have been last week or the week before when Charlotte Flair was on commentary with with Wade Barrett and Joe Tessitore. Holy shit. Get her off. I don't even know why she was there. She might have chimed in to say a few things, and she would barely say it. Wade Barrett would ask her a question, and she would give like a 3-worded response. What is that? Why would we want that on the commentary booth? Get her away, man. Get her away. I don't know. Charlotte Flair has just not been Charlotte Flair, if you know what I mean. At my number 4 position, I have Chad Gable. And this is a product of his booking. His booking has been absolutely atrocious ever since the start of the year. But this booking has been this way probably since the summer. When he finally turned heel and basically was a bully to Alpha Academy, and they never pulled the trigger on the Chad Gable and Otis feud, really. And that was very problematic because it has halted everything that Chad Gable should be right now. Chad Gable should easily be Intercontinental Champion or within the picture of it right now. I mean, he should have been the one to defeat Sami Zayn, and they never did it. He should have been the one to defeat Gunther last year at WrestleMania. They never did it. Chad Gable has just been getting the short end of the stick for the last year and a half now, I want to say. He is easily one of the top workers in the ring. Like, top 3 in my opinion. And what are we doing with him? It's like, I feel terrible for him. He's been putting over talent so much, and he basically debuted Penta. He put on Penta's first match, and Chad Gable, I thought, carried that match in my opinion. People want to be so quick to say Penta looked amazing in that match. Why do you think he looked so good? Because of Chad Gable. Chad Gable made Penta look really good. Chad Gable deserves his flowers for that match. But what are we doing with him? It's like, he is so good on the mic whenever he's on the mic. He is really good. And now we have him like in this Lucha Underground thing where he is just off trying to find people to train him against the luchadors. It's like, why? It's like, it's Chad Gable. He shouldn't need to be trained. You know, Chad Gable should be able to figure it out, especially since he's a heel. Like, come on. And then it none less coming from Dom. If this doesn't have some payoff at the end or benefit for both of them later on, I swear to God, why would you have Dom be the one to give him that if there's going to be nothing for either one of them later on with it? It's like, what are we doing? But better yet, why would Chad Gable just not have anything to do right now? It's like, oh, Chad Gable should easily be in the IC title picture right now, and he is nowhere near it. Why? He is doing nothing right now. It feels like he's doing nothing. and I just don't get it. He has been misused for, as I said, over a year now, and it's not getting any better for him. I mean, he could have been the Iron Survivor come the Royal Rumble, and he wasn't. It's like, what are we doing? Like, I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know what they are doing with Chad Gable right now. At my number 3 position, I have Dirty Dominic Mysterio. Yes, I am so disappointed in the way they have used him so far. It's a product of his booking again. It has nothing to do with what he's doing. He is making the most of what he's doing out there, but it just doesn't feel like enough. It really doesn't, and he is now again becoming Finn's lackey, and I hate that. Now, if this does not have some payoff at the end, as I said before, like with a Chad Gable and Dom thing, if this doesn't have some payoff where Dom finally turns on Finn or vice versa, one or the other, it's just, why are we having Dom revert back to being someone's lackey? Like, stop it. Dom finally should be able to break out on his own. He can get the heat on his own. He gives Judgment Day all the heat they get right now. I mean, he is the only one in Judgment Day outside of maybe Liv Morgan that actually makes Judgment Day watchable still. And like, I don't know, it's they have misused him so much, it feels like. I mean, he should, another person who should be in the Intercontinental Championship race, and it finally seems like he might be entering it. I don't know what they're doing with him, Finn, and Braun right now, but yeah, he should be in it, and then he's not, and he should already have entered this feud with Finn. He hasn't. I don't know when that's going to happen. It feels like it's going to be years from now, it feels like. But that's the thing with Dom, is that his entire character arc has just taken forever to just come around. When they do finally pull the trigger on certain things, like him turning on Rhea at SummerSlam, his reasoning wasn't the greatest for that, but he made the most of it and made it the best, you know? It's like, I don't really know if they had a full plan behind his portrayal, and yes, I will see all the things on X and all this shit about how Rhea mistreated him, blah 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 blah, Rhea made him her little bitch and all this shit. It's like, yes, that is true to an extent, but you gotta remember, he's the one who kind of enjoyed it. He was being a little weird with it. So in a sense, he's as much to blame for that shit as she is. Okay, so before you go and blaming her for all of this shit, it's like, he could have easily have said something if he wanted to. And she would 100% have listened. If we really think about their relationship, she would 100% have listened to him. Now, again, he is just so misused right now. I mean, he is I gotta say, he's the best heel in the WWE right now, but then again, that might go to John Cena after he just turned heel. But as of right now, in terms of heel heat, Dom is by far the best heel they have, and they don't do anything with him. He is the best heel you have, and you do absolutely nothing with him. Why? He should be the one that they are just trying to push to the moon, and they are not doing it. They are doing absolutely nothing with him. And for what? Like, why? I just don't get it. In my number 2 position, I have Finn Balor, Dom's teammate, Dom's whatever. Again, he is a product of somebody who just has been terribly booked so far. And this has been going on for over a year now, over 2 years now, I want to say. Ever since he joined Judgment Day, his booking has just gone downhill, 100%. The only big thing that's ever happened to him is him winning the tag titles with Priest and now JD. And outside of that, maybe you want to say he got 2 world title shots against Seth. Both times he lost. And at the 2023 SummerSlam, you could tell the crowd wanted Finn to win. If you listen to the crowd at the end of that match, when Finn hit his coup de grace, oh my god, the crowd went wild. The crowd were really wanting Finn to win that match. And of course, they didn't pull the trigger on it. And as we can tell, it was definitely for the best. Seth ended up having an amazing World Heavyweight Championship run, so it was for the best. But yeah, Finn, he is just a product of mistreatment right now. I mean, he is, like Chad Gable, one of the top 3 workers in the ring right now, and they are doing absolutely nothing with him. I mean, I don't get it. They are doing absolutely nothing with him, it feels like. And it's like, he should be in the world title picture. Yeah, believe it or not, he should be. And they're doing nothing with him. It feels like he's at Dom's level right now, and that's not where he should be. If they're always wanting Finn to be known as the person who's better than Dom, why are we having him go against the same people Dom's going against, you know? And losing, nonetheless. He is losing against the same people Dom's losing against. Finn's supposed to be better than these people. Why are we doing that? I mean, I get it. We're trying to build up other people like a Braun Breaker, but come on. One of these days, Finn has just got to win some of these matches, you know? We were not promised, but there were reports saying that Finn was gearing up for a pretty solid singles run heading into 2025 for the world title, most likely, and they've done nothing with it. I don't get it. I mean, he should easily be in the world title picture, in my opinion. I mean, if you go back and look at old Finn Balor, yes, he should be in that picture, but old Finn Balor is long gone right now. Finn has just been mistreated, mishandled. He is an enhancement talent now. It's all he's there for. He's enhancing talent, and it's just a pity because why? Like, we have him in his, I don't want to say his prime, but he's still really good. It's like we're just, I don't know, we are misusing his final years, and it's like, just give him something. Give him something. He needs to do something. When Finn and Priest had their street fight, Finn should have won. Why did Finn not win that? Finn should have won that. I'm sorry, Finn really should have won that. Bad Blood, why did Finn not win that? Finn should have won that. Finn should have won at least one of the matches between the two, between Damian and him. Finn lost both of them. Why? Just why? Especially if Judgment Day is getting involved. I hated the way they booked Priest throughout that entire time. And in my number 1 position, I have the former Women's World Champion, Rhea Ripley. Yeah, Rhea has been god-awful to start the year, and she has been like this ever since SummerSlam. Her booking, her character work, her promo skills are just terrible. She cannot do anything, it feels like. And this is probably a product of her getting kicked out of Judgment Day. She does not feel comfortable on the mic. It is so obvious. And there are videos being released of her in the crowd before some of her like promos that they do in the crowd now with Jackie Redmond up there in the stands at like a little podium, and she's like interviewing Rhea. Yeah, there's like videos of her before the promo that Rhea's looking nervous. Rhea's like taking a deep breath, like trying to gather herself. It's like she needs a manager. She needs a group again. I'm sorry, but this is somebody who just does not look comfortable with what her character has been right now. And maybe it's because she's not a heel, but maybe it's because she's not with anyone anymore. She's not with Dom, and she said it herself that Dom made promo work so much easier. And this is not the Rhea that we are used to seeing, you know? Rhea was so much better on the mic when she was in Judgment Day, and I don't know what's happened to her, you know? She should have been able to put on a phenomenal feud with Liv Morgan, and that ended up being one of the biggest busts of 2024. That feud entirely. Wow. Liv and Dom carried that feud, and I didn't even think Liv did that great of a job in that feud either. And it's because you need a counterpart. You can do so much of your best work and the feud still be terrible, you know? And that's kind of what it was, is Rhea did not hold up her end of that feud at all. I mean, I used to be really high on her, really big with her, but god damn, dude, over this past year and a half, not year and a half, past half year, ever since she returned from her injury, wow, dude, just wow. She has just gone downhill, and I don't get it. I really don't get it. They thought she was ready, but she really was not ready. I mean, she does not look comfortable at all with what she's been doing out there. And I feel bad for her because I hate being the person that just basically be's that Debbie Downer, you know, the guy who just destroys her right now. But she kind of needs it, you know. She needs. I think her losing the title on Monday Night Raw was amazing for her because it allows her to have a reset. It allows her to work on herself a little bit more, gives her character a little bit of growth / development that is so much needed right now. And finally she's realizing that there's no friends, you know. That's something that should have already been in her mind ever since Dom and everyone else betrayed her, you know. I don't know. She finally cut a really solid promo after she lost the title. That was a solid promo. If you go back and watch that promo at the end of, like, it was not a promo that got aired, but it was on YouTube. If you go back and watch that, please, dude, she actually cut a solid promo there. But outside of that, I mean, her work has just not been very good. She's barely defended that title when she got it back. You barely saw her. She was always cutting a promo. And her promos weren't good because she was saying the same damn thing every fucking time. And that's not what I want to hear every damn time I see the Women's World Champion. I want to hear something different. And that's going to be a problem with Io Sky because I'm not going to be able to understand anything Io Sky says. So, yeah, Io Sky won that purely because of her in-ring work and captivating fans. She's kind of like Jeff Hardy of WWE today. As you can tell, there are a lot of WWE superstars who have been very disappointing to start this year, and I am hoping that a lot of them are going to be able to turn it around soon, possibly come this WrestleMania. You know, we still have a little bit of time before Mania, so maybe some of them will enter a feud or be able to start turning around their character. You know, they need some work on it, and please let me know down below if you guys think that I left somebody off this list that should have been on this list, because believe me, there are quite a few that should probably be on this list that aren't. But in my opinion, these are the top 10. I know some of you would probably say Gunther deserves to be on this list, but I'm sorry. Gunther has been on almost every Raw, if not every Raw this year, and he has made at least every single segment that he's been in, almost every single segment, at least somewhat memorable, you know? They have been funny segments, they have been good segments, and he's been defending the title. That's all you can ask for from your world champion. And I would have said before the start of the year, maybe he had been disappointing. But it seems as if he has started to pick it up ever since the start of this year. So that is all I can ask for him. But yes, please, tell me down below if I have missed anybody on this list, and let me know why. Give me your reasoning, and I will be sure to comment on your comment. And I will either agree with you or I will disagree with you, and we'll have a friendly discussion. And I say friendly because some of you are not friendly at all. But please leave your thoughts and comments down below, and until next time, see ya.